What's up guys, it's Wayne from Gamer Gab. Game Pass recently dropped their second big offering of 2025 with a brand new IP from Compulsion Games called South of Midnight. So, is it a hit or should you quit? Let's get into it.
Gamer Gab.
Go!
South of Midnight is an action platformer with combat elements set in Louisiana, and the story is centered around the folklore of the Deep South. The bold art style is stunning and really complements the game's fantasy vibe. You play as Hazel Flood, a young woman who's trying to rescue her mother after she's swept downriver in their trailer after a hurricane. The fantasy elements come in when Hazel realizes that she's a weaver, a person who can see the threads of what the game describes as the grand tapestry, which is the metaphorical fabric that binds everything and everyone in the world together. A weaver's calling is to mend the tears in the tapestry caused by deep trauma or tragedy. So, as Hazel moves downriver looking for her mother, she encounters a cast of characters and monsters from local folklore. Some need her help, and some stand in her way. While I was not familiar with the folklore of the Delta, the setting of the game was instantly recognizable to me, having grown up in the South. Compulsion absolutely nailed the sights and sounds of the swamps, complete with all the critters you'd expect to see there. The story is interesting, and it deals with generational issues of slavery, poverty, abuse, and classism that exist in the Deep South. But it handles them in a delicate way that isn't overbearing or heavy-handed, and the voice cast is truly great. Every character in this game is beautifully acted. The gameplay is smooth, but while wall running and double jumping help Hazel get around the world, I didn't feel like they really made sense in the world as it exists in the game. Some of her abilities make sense through her use of her weaving abilities, but others exist just because reasons, I guess. Combat is another game feature that seems kind of out of place in this game. It doesn't work particularly well. Hazel is supposed to be repairing the grand tapestry, but she does this by beating up bad spirits and then unweaving them from the tapestry, I guess. Also, combat only takes place at certain locations in the game, and I found those sections to be tedious because they just break the flow of the game. The combat is hectic and fast-paced, but the flow is further broken because the animation to destroy an enemy causes Hazel to pause for a second or two, and this happens with every single enemy you defeat. I think the game and the story would have been better served by removing combat entirely and focusing on some type of puzzle or cleaning mechanic. I instantly thought of the indie title called The Gunk here. Giving Hazel a way to physically remove the stigma from an area in order to heal it. Now it turns out that Sweet Baby Inc. is also involved with this game. If you aren't familiar with them, do yourself a Google and all will become clear. While I personally didn't have any issues with the content of this game, the name Sweet Baby Inc. taints everything it touches in the gaming world lately. Mostly for good reason, but in this case, I think South of Midnight isn't getting a fair shake, strictly because of the SBI involvement. These days, I'm always happy to see a studio take a chance on a new IP, and Compulsion got a lot right in this game, but there were definitely some things that didn't work. I'm giving South of Midnight a 7 out of 10. So what do you guys think of this game? Did you try it, or did you hear Sweet Baby and run for the hills? Let me know in the comments. As always, Gamer Gab is powered by Conway Corp high-speed internet service. I'm Wayne, and I'll see you next time on Gamer Gab.
Gamer Gab.